Let's Talk Oculus is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to know how to support the show, go to patreon.com/playtestvr.
What's up, Oculus nerds? I'm Dan from Playtest VR. Welcome back to Let's Talk Oculus, episode 32. I'm joined, as always, by the chef. I was about to say the chief, but the chef of Zenith. It's Samson. Yes. What's happening?
Chef, I don't know about that. I've not gotten into cooking yet. Though one of my friends got into it, and he was showing me a little bit. But I don't have milk. I don't know how you get milk. But apparently milk is a staple of cooking, and I ain't got any.
So is there any cows in the game? Is there any goats in the game?
No.
Is there a blender? Do you have oats and milk, or milk, oats and water or something?
I have this flour. I have flour. I have salt. I have one other item. I forget what it is.
Yeah, I don't think you can make milk.
Yeah. You can cook anywhere. I realize that. You can just boom, open up your cooking station. You just toggle it on and off.
Oh, you got.
But yeah, kitchen. I didn't get in VR. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. We'll
talk about it in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Huh? Let's get into it.
For episode 32,
you're gonna just send me immediately into a tangent, like right off the bat.
Right off the bat. I mean, that's fine. That's just how it is here. You know, if anyone's new listening, this is your unofficial MetaQuest podcast, I would say, called Let's Talk Oculus. So normally we go into the news, but it has been a really slow news week. There's pretty much nothing to talk about, to be honest. So what we did is we reached out to the Discord and asked someone in the Discord any questions or topics they want to discuss. And one listener, they wanted the history of me and Samson, kind of where we became friendly to VR and how we loved it, and became, how the podcast became. Because I guess since we started on episode 1, there's been a lot new listeners, and obviously in episode 1 we discussed this, but let's give a little update.
You got to go back. You got to go back.
Yeah. I guess the production quality back then wasn't as good either. So,
yeah,
we might as well give a review on our history books.
We weren't as well manicured either.
No, definitely not. Yeah. Especially, I think you had big long hair and a big beard.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Oh yeah.
Because of the quarantine. And I don't know what I look like.
Yes, the quarantine. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm actually I just recently got a haircut, so yeah, pretty.
Yeah, nice to see your haircut over the toque, as we call it in Canada, that you're wearing.
Well, I also got the beard trim too. So.
Yeah, very good. You were on date nights this week, right? That's why the beard got trimmed.
Anyway,
let's not talk about that. As always, before we get into the show, a little housekeeping. Any audio listeners, you can check out the video version of this podcast and check out Samson's beautifully trimmed beard at Let's Talk Oculus's YouTube channel. And for you video watchers, this episode is on all good podcast platforms and some rubbish ones as well. If you want to be a part of the show, send in your questions at letstalkoculus@gmail.com. You can also send it into the Discord channel. We have one that's open to everybody. All links will be in the description, of course. And if you want to throw us $1, go over to patreon.com/playtestvr for some early access episodes. Now, speaking of Patreon,
down. Wait, but I'm sorry to interrupt you here. What's behind you there? What's that animal thing? What's going on back there?
This is a little tiger. Little animal tiger. I dressed up as Tiger King like 2 Halloweens ago, and I had to buy a tiger to go with the costume. So it's just always there on my bed.
All right.
I didn't know.
Sorry to interrupt.
I didn't know if you were going close to the camera because you wanted the viewers to see your beard more.
No. I was trying to see what was behind you. Yeah.
It's just a stuffed animal, Anyways, speaking of Patreon, I want to give a shout out to the newest patrons. We got Stephen. He writes in saying, I really enjoy your podcast and have recommended it to several of my VR friends. hoping for continued success and growth for you guys. I really like the laid back, let's just talk about what we're playing combined with the new release info. Nothing better than getting together with a friend on both coasts. I'm in Texas, as he says, for some golf, zombie hunting, and jumping in the same plane in warplanes to do some dog fighting. That last part of it, because I asked him like what he likes to play, and seems like he loves a bit of golf and some warplanes as you do, Samson. So thank you very much, Stephen. Thanks for your support. All right.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you,
Samson. Let's go into the history of Samson and Dan, I guess. Tell us about yourself. Who are you?
Well, is this the history of me in VR? Yeah, mostly. Yeah. All right. My first time in VR, I feel like was around 2016. I forget the name of the headset I was using, but my old college roommate had one for work, and he put me in some sort of simulation where I was in. It was basically built for soldiers to test to see if they were ready to go back back into the battlefield. Yeah. So I was in a helicopter, just like looking over the edge, flying over. It was like flying over Google Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa, and immediately got motion sick.
Tell me about it.
And yeah, but I was like, wow, that was pretty cool. But I never had a gaming PC or anything, so I never like was like, oh, how do I get one, or like what do I need to do? And then 2019 Black Friday, I went out and bought a Oculus Quest.
Now pause right there. 2016 was when you had your first announcement, right? Or first time you experienced VR. Did you ever consider getting the PlayStation VR that came out a year after? 2017? No, not at all.
I didn't really know much about it, honestly.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't. It never really. I didn't play. I mean, I have the console, but I didn't play. I mostly just played like couch multiplayer games with friends. That's basically it.
So that's funny because I might as well interject my story in there, because my timelines are very similar. I think in 2016 was my first experience in VR as well, and it was with an Oculus headset, but I don't remember what it is, whether it was like CV2 or something, and like one of the early dev models that would just be used for either in the medicine or the research field, or like you said, for combat and such. But it was in a cinema. You would go, and this cinema had like exhibitions. It wasn't just like a typical cinema theater or anything. It was like a arty type cinema. So they'll have like a couple screens, but then they'll have also a room with like art exhibitions and such. Anyway, so you went in there and you'd have the headset, and you'll stand on top of this like little deck, and you'll put the headset on and you hold on to this pole. And once you put the headset on, it's like you're on a pirate ship kind of thing. And that's it. It was just like a static image. You're just on this pirate ship, but it was just to immerse you in this like world without you wouldn't do anything. But so I didn't get motion sick. But yeah, that was my first encounter. And then I went and I got the PlayStation VR in 2017. Mostly because my dad was like fixated on it. He was like, I want to try this. This is, crazy. But that's when I first played it. And I jumped into a shark tank going down into the water, a shark cage and such, and getting attacked by sharks, doing the London heist in PSVR, doing Resident Evil 7,
Astro Boy, right?
Demo.
Astrobot
Was much later. That was much later. That was like 2019, 2018 Astrobot. But back in 2017, they just mostly had demos, but they had the Resident Evil 7, which was the game changer. I was like, oh my God. But like you getting motion sick when you first did it, I just jumped into everything. I played this game called Riggs, which was like NFL, in like a robot NFL type ordeal.
Is it like the Quest football game?
No. It's called Riggs. It's it's like based on the rules of NFL, but it's not actually with like a proper football or anything. I would definitely recommend looking it up because it was like a big game when PSVR came out. Immediately motion sick because I'm running around and everything. Turn all the motion sickness stuff off because like I don't need this. Almost puked and yeah, crazy. But that Batman came out during that time as well, and Batman Return to Arkham, which was wicked just to be Batman and be the detective for like 30 minutes. But yeah, that was definitely my first encounter. Now, Samson, jump back to you because now our timelines are kind of matched here. So you got your Oculus Quest. What was your like immediate thoughts if you remember?
Hope we're still on a good timeline here. What was my first game? I think was Beat Saber. Like I probably bought Beat Saber day of. I think that Black Friday deal, like when I created my account or whatever, I got all the Vader Immortals as well.
Yeah.
So I believe I hopped into Vader Immortal, did that experience, like, whoa, this is cool, and played a bunch of Beat Saber. And that was pretty much all I did for a while. And then I got like into side quests a bit. And then I only really played it sparingly. The thing's heavy. And I don't think I ever played longer than 45 minutes for a few months.
Yeah. Did you ever play any? Were you like during that time? Were you playing games much at all, like flat screen games, or were you just kind of out of that as well?
I mean, like I said, I was probably just playing couch multiplayer games with friends when, had some beers or whatever and playing Towerfall, something like this.
Right.
But yeah, and then pandemic hit and I started like picking it up a little bit more. And then Quest 2 dropped and I was like, getting this. Really what happened was I brought my Quest 1 to a friend and he was like, whoa, this is cool. And then he bought a Quest 2 because it was right when that happened. And then I was like, if you have a Quest 2, I've also got to have a Quest 2. So then I got a Quest 2. Then he went and bought Saint Sinners. And I was like, bro, you should probably take it slow. And he got really sick and never played again.
Never played again. Oh, man, that's so sad, right? That's so sad. When
he gave it to his wife, and sometimes she plays Cubism, and I think that's about it.
And that's about it.
But yeah, then it was just like off to the races, right? Then I just like did it all. Then then I got in touch with like old friends. It reconnected me with people, and just dove right
that's
in.
where it became. Yeah, because so I never got the Quest 1. It was always I remember when it came out and they showed off Vader Immortal because that was like the packing game for free, right? And I thought this looks sick. I really want it, but it was pricey. It's not pricey now that I think about it in terms of relative to whatever is in VR. But at the time, when you compare it to something like PlayStation at the time, it was like this is pretty much the same price. But yeah, it was like it was one of those things I always wanted, but I was like, you know what? I'll just wait. Samson, you got something there. Is that the original Quest? That's the original Quest box, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it still looks pretty sexy in the black.
Yeah, it's nice.
I kind of like a Quest 3 in black, actually. I do like the Quest 2 in white, but the black looks
I like
sleek.
the controllers, yeah.
Yeah, the black looks sleek. For the audio listeners, Samson's got a box of his Quest 1. It's still in there, or did you get rid of it?
Oh yeah, this is so when they started selling them refurbished for like $1.50, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get that and just never open it.
Oh, so it's not opened.
Yeah, it's unopened, still sealed.
A fresh Quest with a nice strap on it.
It's got a great selection of games on the back.
What are we talking about here?
Creed Rise to Glory. One of your favorite boxing games.
I got a message from them. I got an email the other day saying, hey, we got this new mode and was wondering if you wanted to try it and put it on your channel and such. I was like, you haven't watched the video that I put out comparing that game against
of course not.
VR boxing, which has got 200,000 views, by the way, which shout out. There's this YouTube channel that I've got, which I guess I should talk to in my background. I will get to that in a second. Continue, Samson. Tell us the games.
All of them, yeah. All right, next up, Sports Scramble, which I'm pretty certain if you check the Oculus store, still has never received like any updates. So it's on 1.0. Dance Central, one of the few games that I've bought and returned.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not into dancing there, Samson?
I am. I bought it. I was like, yeah, dancing, count me in. Then I just was not into dancing in the Central. National Geographic Explore VR game I haven't tried, but I think I've heard it was like pretty good, but it was like under contented.
I have tried it. I just think the quality is not the best. Under contented is like, yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but I did try that. It's fine. The Wonder VR is way better. Yeah, the one that's Supernatural
one I've got.
Team yeah.
Vader Immortal, great one. So it's got a hit. And Dead and Buried 2, a game I've never played. I've heard is good, but I've never played. But yeah, that's OG Quest.
Dead and Buried I didn't like, but I know a lot of people who do like that game. So I don't want to like crap on it. I just didn't like it. Was it Dead and Buried? Yeah, it was Dead and Buried. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Dead and Buried, but hey, early Quest games, you know. What I was going to say, so to flip back onto my end, so I didn't get the Quest, and I ended up moving because I'm from England and I moved to Vancouver, and then I was like, yeah, I want to get this. This is the time to get the Quest and such, and then I heard heavy rumors that the Quest 2 was coming out. Now, obviously, this is now pandemic time, so the Quest came out in 2020, September 2020, correct? October 2020, sorry.
Yeah, October, yeah.
So in the actual pandemic when it started, in March, because everything went to lockdown, I kind of learned how to video edit during that time, and I was just messing around with different ideas. I was like, I really wanted to start a YouTube channel, and my first idea for a YouTube channel was to create a channel about math for kids, for like elementary kids. So I'd like create these fun it was called Bite Size School, and I have one like complete video which I like did as a concept design, and I looked at it and I was like, it was a little bit cringy because I'd play different characters, so I'd change my costumes. So I'll have like a blazer for like the smart guy, and then I'll have like the street guy. So I had like a Chicago Bulls top on with a backwards cap and such. Nice. So I did like different characters and such. And that was fun, but yeah, the concept was fun. I mean, I still have like some of the stuff I designed for it, but I just didn't really have any passion for it, to be honest. I thought this would be good, but and it took a while to make the videos to get everything animated in terms of the math problems, and then going through the curriculum, and I was like, I'm no teacher. Well, technically what I do for my living, I am, but not like a actual school teacher. So, but anyway, then the Quest 2 was about to come out, and I was like, okay, this is going to be the YouTube channel. I'm just going to do it on this, you know? And lo and behold, when I got it on day one, and then I did like an unboxing video and initial thoughts, which is a terrible video, but hey, it was the first video. A lot of the lighting's all off. It's really dark. I'm off center on the camera and such. It was all over the place. But when you get your first few subscribers, it was pretty fun to see that. And yeah, the YouTube channel is called Playtest VR for anyone who doesn't know, and that's why the Patron's called Playtest VR, because it was originally made for that. I haven't put a video out for about 4 months. The last video was in October, just because I've not really had much time. I've just focused more on just doing the podcast and learning. I'm like learning to code to become like an AR VR developer, so I've like put more time in that. But sneak peek, I am planning a comeback with the channel soon. I am currently getting this my logo for the Playtest VR designed. So
man,
it might be coming.
I love
soon.
A good logo.
Yeah, so it might be coming soon. I'm saying, when I say soon, I'm saying within this month. So hoping for that to happen. But yeah, what did I play on the Quest 2 though? Was the first thing I played on Quest 2 was Vader Immortal for Quest 1, because that's the game I always wanted to play, and that's the one that blew me away. And like you said with Beat Saber, I didn't download Beat Saber for about 3 or 4 weeks because I didn't want to, because I knew it was so popular, and I was like, let me just try other games. So I got Pistol Whip and such, and enjoyed that, and obviously Walkabout and Top Golf and everything. 11 Table Tennis was another big one. Lies Beneath, another one that I love.
Yeah, Walkabout was brand new then too.
Yeah, and that it was fantastic then, like it is now. Yeah, even better now how it's all fleshed out, because now you got all the music and such. But yeah, that was the initial starts of the Oculus Quest. I was super excited when I got it. I got it from I was like first one in Best Buy just to get it, and realize there's so many there. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just take it too.
Lots of supply, very little demand.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess just to give a bit of background on how this podcast became, I think what happened was, obviously Samson was a subscriber to my channel, and then we kind of formed a little relationship through the comments and such, and I think I spoke to you on Reddit or whatever, and then we had the Oculus Gaming Showcase coming up, and I reached out. I was like, do you want to just do like a video together just to discuss it? And we had all the other people in VR and giving predictions out for that Oculus. And then after that episode, we kind of just like, this is fun, should we just do it on a more regular basis? And then lo and behold, we're 32 episodes in, and here we are, and still going. And it's been fun, and it's been great watching the listener count go up. On average, I think almost every week it goes up and up and up. And then meeting people like Gino and PJ and Kim on the Patron, and all the other patrons as well, and having the Discord, like, it's good fun. It's a slow growth.
It's all about the friends you meet along the way.
100%. So yeah, I say that's the history of me and Samson. I guess also I did try the Google Cardboard way back in the day, and I was doing like roller coaster simulators and such, but I was always fascinated.
I never tried phone VR or anything like that.
In fact, I remember when I was about 5 years old, actually, I remember I think my uncle had this like headset where you'd put it against your face, and you can use the controls on the side of the headset to control like a racing game. It wasn't obviously just VR, it was just, you just put your face in it so you can just see the screen in front of you. That was like the early stages of something like VR, I'd say, for me. Yeah, I just remembered that. I was like, that was probably the first time I had like a headset for gaming. But yeah, I absolutely love it. Samson, before we move on, actually, what's your favorite game?
My favorite game,
or one of your favorite games that's not Walkabout or Synth Riders, most of the listeners already know. I think, while you think about that, I think,
how about you go first?
I think for me, one of the games that well, not even games, one of the apps I always go back to is I still keep using Big Screen all the time. That was one of the early apps that I ever used, and I still go into it now and again, and that keeps flushing out. You go.
All right, VR chat. It's it is early internet days fun, and it is just like no rules, and generally in the best of ways. I mean, there are like, there are instances and times where you run into, some of the scum of the world, where you but if you're any community, you probably run into some of that. And on the whole, it's just like, wow, this probably won't be able to exist forever. So I am so happy I'm like experiencing this now.
It's literally the metaverse, right? In its early stages, in a way.
I mean, yeah, essentially in a very basic way. But it's just like, there's just no rules. There's no copyright laws. It's just like, all right, let's just do whatever. Avatars galore, worlds galore, games galore, socializing. You can do anything and see anything and be with anybody.
So that's a lot of anything. The world is your oyster. It's infinite possibilities.
It feels like you have like Napster. You're like, I can torrent anything. You're like, I can go anywhere.
I actually never used VR chat until last week. So last Sunday, I went into a VR dance party, like a silent disco. It's called Sunday Brunch. It normally happens every Sunday, Sunday Brunch. You can follow them on their Twitter account.
Sounds
It's like kind of made or co-made by a friend of ours, friend of the show, Gino, and they normally do just like parties, like VR parties and VR chat and such. But this first one last Sunday was the first Sunday brunch that they did, which is allowed for Oculus. Now, normally it's for the PC VR only, but this one was for the Quest 2 as well. And it was essentially a silent disco, but I was in this junkyard and my character was like a giant hot dog because I was craving hot dogs as I normally do. And yeah, I went into the junkyard and I was just talking to a bunch of Gina's friends, and they had the music playing on a silent disco, so you'd have to like log into a Twitch stream just to listen to it. And then there'll be one guy who was just like dancing. He didn't stop. Like his avatar was just moving for the whole time I was in there. And
full body tracking too.
Yeah, he was going for it. He was definitely on PC, 100% going for it. And I was just sitting on the side thinking, okay, this is the first time I'm socializing VR. Let me just watch what's happening here. But it was pretty cool. I was like, this is essentially, yeah, like a slice of what the metaverse would be, you know.
For sure.
It's like we're there before before everyone goes into it. Like we're there when it was cool. When the metaverse
honestly,
happens,
we're late to it too. I mean, what VR chat's been out since I think OG like 2016.
Yeah, for a long time. But obviously, I think a lot of people who like are getting into the Quest are obviously experience it for the first time as well. So it's pretty nice, pretty nice. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking out VR chat because I definitely have fun, and I want to hop in again, and I need you, Samson, or Gina or someone just to take me through like what am I doing. But anywho, what we've been playing, Samson, how was your VR week?
VR week was slim. Got into about just over 2 hours of Zenith, I think. But I did get a couple more like IRL friends. Actually, a couple people from my Among Us crew. So now we're like a team of 4 or 5 sometimes, which is just even all the more fun.
Yeah,
it's just all
you can't wait till Among Us VR comes out officially comes out for.
That's gonna I mean, gosh, not enough of my Among Us friends have VR headsets, but
I think you'll make more
it's
Among
gonna
Us
be
friends.
fun. Yeah,
you know,
100%. Yeah, we'll just like get a new crew. Exactly.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely be on board. I think
maybe we'll get an Among Us section of the Discord. Slide that right in there.
Hey, yeah, good plug there. Any more Zenith?
Yeah, I mean, I got about 2 hours of it. Not extensive. I think I'm about like 2/3 or got another quest done. No, what I do, I returned some teardrops, got my stamina up a little bit, so now I can fly a little bit longer.
Can you explain the teardrops to someone who doesn't play Zenith?
Teardrops is something you go around collecting. They're generally in a little hard to get areas though, so you have to like fly to them or crawl or climb.
So essentially, a lot of people have been crying in this game, and you're just there collecting the tears.
Yeah,
like what a sick game this is. Yeah. Anyways,
it's one of my favorite games, I think, to fly around in. Like, I'm sure there's got to be a VR chat world where you can kind of fly around the same way, but it feels I mean, similar to Pop 1, probably. I haven't popped into Pop 1 lately.
I haven't popped into Pop 1 for a long time.
But yeah, just a little Zenith. But I moved things around my bedroom, so I've got a lot of space now, and itching to get back into Eye of the Temple. Really take advantage of the space. But yeah, that's that.
Very good. For me, I've been in the fitness world more than anything with VR. So last week's episode, I showed off the VR weights that I got from Kiwi Design. I wish I had them with me, but I totally forgot to put them together. But I'll put a link in description if you want to check out the VR weights. It simply attaches to the end of the controller, and adds around £1 per controller, or 500 grams for us Canadians and UKers and Australians. And yeah, I was going to continue naming countries until one country is like, no, I didn't. I do pounds too. I think it's just US, to be honest. But anyway, so I tried Power Beats VR and Les Mills or Les Mills, fitness boxing, the new kind of fitness game that we talked about. And so essentially let me talk about the VR weights first. They add a lot, like £1 per controller is a lot. Like it's a lot.
You feel it immediately.
You feel it immediately, like it's heavy, like it feels heavy, and especially when you're doing your punches, like it feels heavier. Little issues that, well, not an issue. I think it's more of I think you'd prefer to use those weights with one of those VR straps which go around the hand, rather than around the wrist straps. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They'll definitely be better because then you don't have to hold on to the controllers so tight. Because obviously it makes the controllers really top heavy because the weights are all at the end where the trackers are.
You only have the wrist.
Yeah, I only have the wrist. I used to have them, but I think I got rid of them I think Kiwi sent me one like 2 years ago, and I got rid of them.
They got new ones that I've heard are pretty good. They're kind of like, and feel like the index controllers.
Yeah. So I definitely think you'd want to use one of those just so it attaches to your hand better. Because if you're with like me and just have the normal wrist straps on, controllers are very top heavy. So when you're doing like punches, it just feels like it's falling on one end. So it's a little annoying, and it slips out because your hands get sweaty and then the controller starts to slip a little bit. I would definitely recommend one of the hand straps if you're going to use it. But if you're looking for something that adds a little bit more challenge to the games rather than just speed, you want to put a little bit of more, I don't know, weight. I don't know how much muscle you can build with this, but because it's only £1 on each, but it does give a little bit more sweat off. So I would definitely, if you're in that market, I would recommend to get them with the hand straps too. Okay, so what I'll do is in the description below, I'll put the link to the Kiwi weights, and I'll also put the link to the hand straps as well. You can buy, there's so many different companies that do the hand straps, to be honest, but
yeah, I use VR Cover, I think.
As far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure that Oculus are coming out with their hand straps too, in their new Fit Pack, because they came out with the one that they announced in the Facebook Connect. They're going to have another head plate and also wrist straps as well, because they had this Supernatural type of partnership, right?
Gotcha.
That should be coming out soon. They said they said January, but I'll have to check on that. But,
I mean, didn't they also say you don't need a Facebook account come 2022?
That's true. But yeah, so like I said, hand straps and weights if you wanna do them properly. In terms of the games, so we have Power Beats VR and Les Mills. I'm sorry if that's not how you pronounce it. Body Combat, and essentially both games are $30 US, and they're both standalone games. Like you don't need a subscription for it, which is obviously different because you have FitXR and Supernatural and some others that require a subscription now, and it does get expensive, as Samson knows. With a Supernatural subscription for a year it's pretty pricey. But so this is one if you just want a standalone. Now let me just go for Power Beats VR first. That is an App Lab game. Kimberly, friend of the show, Patron, she is a massive fan of Power Beats. She's been telling me to get it for a while now. So I did get it, and it's fun, but it is not very polished. Now I wouldn't expect too much polish because it is a low budget game and it's on App.
What's the price? It's 30, you said?
$30. Yeah, $30. The polish isn't really there in terms of like the icon designs or the objects that you punch and such. The polish isn't there. However, the gameplay is really good.
How's the music?
Well, so the music, there's 2 volumes in there, as they call them, volumes, like 2 playlists in there. Okay, like decent music, but
There's
here's the yeah,
good.
here's the thing. You can import any of your own songs in there, and it's meant to kind of map um the the objects to the actual beat of the music, or try and map it. I only tried one song and it didn't do the best job in that, so it kind of put me off a little bit. But I only tried the one song. I think I tried a Logic song. So it didn't
Nice.
really get to do it properly, but it was still fun because it was really fun to do that fitness challenge to the music that you like. That's the thing with the rhythm games. Sometimes they're only as fun as how good the music is, you know. And if you want to actually dance to them, or like work out to them,
Right.
or such. So that's definitely a big plus. So if you're looking for a good punching workout game, that you can put your own music into, then Power Beats VR is great for that. And it plays great. And the difficulty levels, I did beginner first, and it was really easy. But then I did the expert, and it was pretty hard. You know, lots of stuff start flying at you and in different directions. And to be honest, dodging in that game is really difficult, to like squat
Why
or
is that?
lunge to the side. I don't know. I just feel like some of the gaps for you to like lunge in are really small, and me being
Gotcha.
6'3", it just I will end up hitting the objects anyway. But I was on like expert level, so that might be why too. Um, but just overall, it's a good game. It just lacks a polish. So just remember that going into it. It is $30. It has been on sale a few times for like 22, so definitely keep out with it. Or you can just buy it, play it for a bit, and then return it after an hour or so if you don't really like it, you know. So I definitely recommend that if you want, try it out if you like the local music and you want to put your own songs in there.
Yeah, see how
Um,
well it works.
yeah, and it's really easy too. You just plug in your Quest to your PC, Mac, put it into the music folder, and it's there. Like there's nothing else you need to do. Um, but the body combat was I want to say Les Mills again. I feel like it's Les Mills. But anyway, Les Mills, this is a more polished game. This is on the actual Oculus store, like way more polished, like supernatural level type of polish. You have 2 trainers, a man and a woman. Both of them are like clear as day right in front of you, just like Supernatural is. The environments are really nice. You're always in this like body combat arena, but you can see outside and you can see all the environments outside of you. The one I was in a like a Japanese or China. I can't remember. It was like an Asian, like an East Asian type of setting, and it was beautiful. It was really nice. And the cool thing about Power Beats is that it's sorry, Power Beats, Les Mills, is that it's boxing workouts pretty much only, or shall I say, like mixed martial arts workouts. You've got like mixed martial art pads on, and if you really like the boxing style in Supernatural, which is my favorite part of Supernatural, I would recommend getting the Les Mills instead of Supernatural, because the polish is still pretty much there. You have around 30 to 40 workouts
But
in
the
there.
songs aren't updated, are they?
No, no. So that's the thing. So the songs aren't as good as Supernatural by far. One thing I really like though is when you join a workout, a bunch of people connect as well to your workout. I was standing there, the trainer was in front of me, and I was like connecting, connecting, connecting. I was like, what is this? And all of a sudden these people showed up, and they're all like real people. And then as you're doing the workout, you have your scores on the right,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see how you rank between
It's
everyone
yeah,
else.
FitXR, I believe, has some sort of bit like
Yeah.
that's sort of what it's like, yeah.
I really like that. I think that's a great idea. There's no, as far as I was looking through the menus, and you can't really add a friend. So if you wanted to play and want to do a workout together, I couldn't put you in, which I think would be a great idea for all of these. I don't know if FitXR do that. I've not tried FitXR, but having a multiplayer mode in these fitness games would be fantastic. I think that will get a lot of people motivated to do fitness and such. But
For sure.
yeah, yeah, and then it feels good. Like the punching feels like solid. The objects are coming at you like supernatural, and so you're
How's
doing
the dodging?
uppercuts, hunks. Dodging's great as well, much easier, but like it's more like a synth riders type of dodging. you know. But yeah, it feels good. The trainers in your ear are really good too. Yeah, overall, I was very surprised. I think it's a fantastic fitness game. And if you don't want a subscription, you just want like a good boxing workout, Les Mills is Body Combat is definitely one. I would say for $30, I think it's definitely worth it. When it comes to Supernaturals, what, $20 a month, as far as I
Yeah,
remember.
18.99. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so like, a month and a half and you get the whole game. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this one if someone wants like a polished option of Body Combat. All right. That's all I've been playing.
Have you tried out the lenses?
Not come yet. They're not come
Okay.
yet. Yeah, the VR lenses. I can't wait for them because I didn't play VR until this weekend, and the whole like Monday to Friday when I'm at work and I finish work, I always wear my glasses at work. I don't wear my contacts, and sometimes I can't be bothered to like get the contacts on, and then two times I did it, I realized that the Quest was dead, and I was like, can't be
You
bothered
don't
with
use the
this.
glasses spacer?
I've tried the glasses spacer that came with it in the box, and my glasses are too big to fit in the spacer, and I don't
Gotcha.
really want to buy the other fit spacers. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think the lenses are going to be a godsend. They are on the way, so I
Oh,
hope
yeah.
that it comes this week, because it'll be excellent. All right, on to the news now, and we have, like I said, not much news. We have three items. First item is Virtual Reality 2 got announced, and it's coming to Quest this week as well as you're listening to this. Samson, you played the first one, right?
Yeah, not all the way through, but definitely enjoyed it. It's pretty funny. Definitely
What,
recommend it. It's a good game.
what kind of game is it?
God, how do you describe this? You kind of
Like,
like go through worlds, different, like it's sort of like going through different VR chat worlds, I guess, but no social aspect, right? You're just like throwing on these VR headsets and just going deeper into this world, and slowly, the plot develops. Like robots are talking to you, and it's just it's pretty dystopian.
hmm,
But yeah, pretty funny. I
yeah,
recommend it.
it seems like an in-depth story as well in this game anyway. In terms of the trailer, I would definitely recommend checking out the trailer because it does look wacky. It's a hard game to explain. It's like a parody on virtual
Yeah.
reality in a way. But a lot of people have been saying good things about it. And that comes out on 10th of Feb. So the second thing on our list is that Meta has announced that they $1 billion has been spent in the Oculus Quest store. Well, I guess since the Quest has been a thing. So a lot of money, Samson. And I feel like you got a
Big
big
time.
chunk of that.
I mean, yeah, not too significant, but yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
spent some money in the Quest store.
Have you bought anything recently? There's lots of sales going on. There's Luna sales on and such.
I have not. I have not bought anything recently, other than Zenith. I mean, that's just what I've been playing, right? Got that
Yeah, I don't
last
know.
a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I think there's Lunar Year sales currently on, and they've got like the creator packs where they have like all of the Vader models. The I Expect You to Die double pack, which is what I got last week, and haven't played since buying it only once. Dude, I'm doing a Samson here. But yeah, that's great to see. $1 billion spent. I mean, it's only going to get more and more. The Quest went crazy at Christmas time, our last Christmas, in terms of how many people. I mean, I saw it on my YouTube channel with a video that was out since last March, and it was just skyrocketing. And same with the podcast. So yeah, that's definitely great to see. Still don't think there's going to be another Quest this year, though. I feel like you have to hold out till next year for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, I don't think. I think they're going to focus on that Project Cambria, and then that's it.
Looks like I can get Yuki for 30% off.
What's Yuki? No, I don't know Yuki.
Yuki's like that game where you control. It's like an action figure with your hand. It's sort of like a bullet hell game.
Hmm. Okay, I've not heard of that one. No,
It's in the
Sam's going to
family fun pack.
end up going to buying some. I can see his eyes. His eyes are like, I'm looking to
Nah,
buy my
nah, nah.
next. Okay, and the last piece of news is just that Meta plans to bring Horizon smartphones this year. So following, I guess, like the Rec Room. Is VR chat on smartphones too? Or
I do not believe so, but you can do it on your PC.
Yeah. But Rec Room is the one that's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you ever jump into Horizon Worlds at all?
One time, I believe.
Yeah, one time.
That was
I still haven't jumped into it. But we'll see. I'm assuming that this is what they want as their like metaverse is Horizons, but we'll see. We'll see. If anyone like listening has gone into Horizon Worlds or loves it as much as Samson loves VR chat, then please let us know, because I really want to hear more about this. So perfect. And then the last thing, I guess, always just the games out this week and this week. So we have Samson. You want to say this one, because I feel like I've talked a lot.
Yeah, the virtual reality too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Feb 10th, $30. Pre-order 10% off. I believe that's probably off the Oculus store.
Yeah, that's off the Oculus store. It brings it to $26 if you buy it now.
Nice. Quick math.
I
had faith in our listeners. They could do that math.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
I mean, I wanted to inform the listeners too.
Yeah.
They may have to do extra math. We might have some listeners in the UK, and then they'll have to convert first. I've already done the 10% for them.
You got to convert it to all the. We'll just list right now, just on their video right now on the YouTube. Just list all. Convert it into all the.
That's what I'll do. I'll go into the podcast stats and see where everyone's been listening.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, okay. Anywho,
we need it all.
Virtual reality 2. Hit us.
Yes. VVR 2. When a metaverse shuts down, what happens to the avatars left behind? In this darkly funny action-adventure game, pilot your mech body through the chaos of a dying metaverse, rescuing abandoned avatars along the way. Each new avatar roommate brings unique tools to aid your escape back to meat space. Do you have what it takes to overcome the digital destruction and impersonal drama before you're logged off for good?
Great way of saying that.
Next week on VVR 2.
I feel like this is exactly what's going to happen to real life soon with the metaverse. It sounds really fun and it's beautiful. But yeah, best virtual reality 2. Perfect. That's pretty much all we have for the podcast. Next week we won't be here because we're both away for Super Bowl weekend, so we don't have time to record. We'll be back the week after. For hopefully there's been some more news in the virtual reality world. And if you have any questions or topics, please send it to us via letstalkoculus.com or the Discord. Samson, anything else before you sign off?
You know what? I'm gonna hold off on it. But
what is that tease?
No, it's no. Well, all right.
Yeah. Tell us what's going on.
Okay. Well, basically, so I listened to this other podcast, and they at some point during the podcast time, they added what's called the parent corner, because they're parents and they talk about they tell a story for their children or whatever. So I was like, all right, I'm by day I'm a courier. I drive, and believe it or not, there's a lot of bullshit that happens out there on the road. Pardon my French. So this week I wanted to introduce a new segment for the pod called Driver's Ed, because there's just so many ridiculous people out there that just need to be discussed. And then I was like, you know what, this might not be a weekly segment, as it depends on the terrible drivers of the greater Boston area to determine its frequency. So its chances are pretty solid, but not guaranteed. And while I'm thinking of this idea, I kid you not, it happens. I'm like, oh my God, this is the content right now. It's happening. I'm worried about content while content is coming at me. But yeah.
So we're talking about a podcast within a podcast, which happens at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, well now it's happening. Like this
It's
is it
happening.
live. Yeah.
What
Anyway,
are you calling it? You calling it Driver's Z?
yeah, driver's ed. Driver's ed. I
Driver's
don't know.
Ed? Okay. We need a
Yeah.
theme tune for this podcast.
Anyway, yeah, well here's so I come on, I'm way ahead of you. So anyway, yeah, before I get going to the actual story, I wanted to say like this week's driver's ed story brought to you by Car Parking Simulator. Do you feel like you're almost there but just need a little bit more help mastering parallel parking? Car Parking Simulator. It's time to park your ass down and park.
I wish
Anyway.
this was a real sponsor.
Yeah, right. No, just a
Okay.
pretend one. Anyway, Car Parking Simulator is a great game. And you know what? I'm tempted to like listen, if we get 5 questions in the next 2 weeks, we'll randomly pick someone and give you Car Parking Simulator. I will do that. Yeah. If we so what we'll plug
Send
the
us your
email.
questions.
Yeah, send us your questions. One of the first 5, randomly send that. Anyway, so I'm driving along and I'm in a 3-lane road, right? Speed limit slow, like 30, 35 miles per hour. And I'm approaching a light. And there's 3 lanes at this light. The lane all the way to the right can get on the highway, and that's all you can do. The middle lane can get in the highway or go past the highway, and the left lane can go past the highway or straight. There's no left turn. And there's traffic coming at you, and to go straight, you got to like go over the right. So
Yeah, I got it.
that's it. Yeah. So I'm going towards this light, and somebody turns towards me, like basically taking a right onto a one-way. And I honestly, pretty casually, for like what's going on, like somebody's coming at me the wrong way on the road here, I swerve, 1 lane over pretty casually. And the dude has the nerve to stare me down like I'm doing something wrong. Like, what are you doing in my lane? Like, you need to move over. Anyway, listeners, don't be that guy.
So this is the same. That's the guy who turned into the road for oncoming traffic.
You can't turn into oncoming traffic. What are you doing? And then if you do that, like you can't be like, I'm supposed to be here.
Exactly. Oh man. Well, that was the first episode of Driver's Ed with Samson.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if there's more content.
Yeah, I'm tempted to get like a theme tune, but thanks for joining us for the first episode of Driver's Ed. Back to our regular episode of Let's Talk Oculus 32. Like I said,
it goes well with our history, with the history of this episode too. Like,
it does.
Got my day job in there.
I feel like the listeners who listen to this podcast all the way to the end to experience Driver's Ed are happy that they got to experience Driver's Ed because they're the hardcore, right?
There you have
People probably signed off when we talked about Les Mills and boxing, and they're like, "What the hell is this?" But we made it to the end. You get this bonus Driver's Ed podcast.
Yeah, it'll always be at the end, that's for sure.
It'll always be at the end, 100%. And that's episode 1. We'll see if we have an episode 2. I'm sure we will. But great. But anyway, thanks to everyone. Like I said, join our Discord. It keeps growing. We keep getting people in the Discord almost every day now, which is kind of fun to see. So join that if you want to play any games. And like I said, we'll see you in the next 2 weeks.